A day after surviving an attempt on his life, Donald Trump has called his survival a miracle. New details are now emerging about the shooter as the FBI searches for a motive. There are also fears the assassination attempt could lead to further violence, prompting an impassioned plea for calm from the Oval Office.
Pushing ahead in Milwaukee. Donald Trump says he'd planned to delay his trip to the Republican National Convention after surviving an assassination attempt, but couldn't allow the shooter to change his schedule, telling his followers, "We will fear not, but instead remain resilient in our faith and defiant in the face of wickedness." Former First Lady Melania Trump described the 20-year-old gunman as a monster and urged Americans to ascend above the hate, the vitriol and the simple-minded ideas that ignite violence.
My fellow Americans.
From the Oval Office, a call for calm.
Disagreement is inevitable in American democracy. It's part of human nature. But politics must never be a literal battlefield, or God forbid, a killing field.
The President has ordered an independent review of the security measures at the rally to examine how Thomas Matthew Crooks, a nursing home worker, was able to fire at Donald Trump from a nearby rooftop. Authorities haven't revealed any information about a possible motive, but say the attack is being treated as an act of domestic terrorism. While Donald Trump survived, father of two and former fire chief Corey Comparator was killed while shielding his family.
Even if that was just a random civilian beside him, he would have done the same thing.
There are so many questions here about how Donald Trump could have been targeted in such a shocking and violent way. But many are also asking where this attempted assassination leaves an already deeply divided America.
Kim Bentz thought the shots ringing out were fireworks at first. When everyone dropped to the ground, she threw her arms around her husband, who uses a wheelchair.
I don't want political violence anywhere, okay? But when you got people, pundits on TV spewing hate, it's going to lead somewhere. It's going to lead for crazy people on either side to do crazy things.
What would the world be like, or America be like today, if he did get taken out last night? Well, America would be on fire. I mean, the rioting, people on our side would just say that's enough.
Instead, he believes Donald Trump's supporters will galvanise and win him the election. Jade McMillan, ABC News, Butler, Pennsylvania.
Jade McMillan joins us now from the site of that rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. Jade, so it's been less than 48 hours since this happened, but the Trump campaign has started using this striking imagery of the shooting in fundraising material.
Yeah, a fundraising committee for Donald Trump's campaign is using that very now famous photo of the former president on stage in the immediate aftermath of the shooting. It's on its donations page with the message, "Fear not." Now, Donald Trump has done a couple of newspaper interviews today. He says that he believes he would have died if he hadn't moved his head to look at a screen at the moment the gunman opened fire. He says that he is rewriting his speech for the Republican National Convention this week, that he wants to use it to try to unite the country. Joe Biden, meanwhile, has made it clear that he's returning to the campaign trail. He argues that the political rhetoric in the United States needs to be dialed down, but he says that this is what the election is all about, both sides putting their visions forward without violence. So while the rally site here in Pennsylvania remains a crime scene, while all of these investigations get underway, the election campaign, Joe, rolls on.
Jade McMillan reporting there from Butler, Pennsylvania. And the Secret Service is coming under increased pressure to explain how a shooter got so close to the former president and opened fire. The FBI has also carried out raids on the lone gunman's home, uncovering a number of suspicious devices.
The 20-year-old was yet to vote in a US presidential election, but the actions of shooter Thomas Matthew Crooks have forever changed the course of this election campaign. He graduated high school in his hometown of Bethel Park just 2 years ago, where classmates say the bright student was bullied.
My only interactions with him were just seeing him in school. I mean, he was bullied, sat alone at lunch.
The nursing home worker had been registered as a Republican voter since 2021, but donated to a progressive political action committee the day Joe Biden was sworn in as president. At the time of the shooting, he was wearing a T-shirt branded with the logo of Demolition Ranch, a popular pro-gun YouTube channel. During raids, the FBI found suspicious devices in the shooter's car and home. The Secret Service fronted the media about security for the upcoming Republican National Convention, but refused to take questions about its worst failure since the 1981 assassination attempt on Ronald Reagan.
I'd refer any questions regarding yesterday's incident to our DC Public Affairs Office.
The rooftop was one of a few in the area, and US media is reporting a blame game has erupted between the Secret Service and local police over who should have been patrolling it.
I would have expected that local law enforcement, at the direction of the Secret Service, would have been positioned on those rooftops, but that apparently wasn't done.
Security experts have also questioned why authorities failed to move quickly when the crowd spotted the gunman.
He's on the roof right there.
One of Donald Trump's greatest political advantages is his ability to draw a rapturous crowd in a festival-like atmosphere. His campaign was counting on holding these type of events to energise voters, but this shocking act calls into question the safety of his signature rallies as we enter the last few critical months of this campaign. Carrington Clark, ABC News, Washington.